I'm going to cry because this has been a very long journey for me. And it has to do with my child. And the amount of people that this affects, I think, is going to be huge. Um, Regan, I started your program in December of last year, actually, and this is why I joined this program. I didn't believe in manifesting, but I am still in the middle of a pretty contentious divorce, and I knew, and it's abusive, and so, and I'm shaking, so I'm going to be as, I'm going to try to get this
Mhm.
out as much as possible. And I have a child, and Vishen actually, we talked about this earlier. My child was a miracle. And I was told I was told that there was no way, especially in Washington State, that I was going to get anything more than 50%. And I did your program on Mindvalley, and I got more than 50%. And then as I joined this program, I manifested domestic violence findings and effectively created case law in Washington state. Um, and I don't know how many people this will eventually affect, but created case law in Washington state that uh, for the coercive control laws. And just as we did the first activation with ROLA, that finding came in from the parent evaluator. And in the manifestation in that program that I did before this program, my intent was to get freedom and to get peace and a community. And so that was the first step. And then after that, I was able to get a protection order. And after that, the protection order was extended for a year. And I was able to find safety and freedom and peace for both myself and my child. And as confirmation of everything that happened in the UK passed a couple laws specifically focused on the protection of children. I think it was in the month of October, ending the presumption of parental involvement, especially in abusive situations. And to me, that was just a huge sign that everything was merging in the direction that it needed to merge. And I was so grateful. And there's been a handful of people that I've been on calls with manifesting. And for me, this was the first step in my new life. And Envision, it actually started with you in 2023. I did a mental video technique because my marriage was in such a bad state. And I got the sign, but I didn't pay attention to the sign. I'm a horrible student. But looking back on that, those techniques worked, and I was not a believer. And one of the hardest things I've had to learn is how to surrender, especially when it comes to your child. And so this class has really um, given me that strength along with the activations. So thanks to everyone.